Hello guys and welcome to another legendary stream right here on Twitch. Thunder, congratulations on being first. Seb, welcome in. Fixie, thank you so much for tuning in as well. Hope you all have a fantastic freaking Friday so far. Sorry for, today and tomorrow being much more late night as usual, but it should be fun regardless. We actually have 3.5 hours still. I'm kind of going to stream again. I'm going to stream until like 1 a.m. I think that's going to be fine. Might even do some editing after that, but I don't want to go too far. But I need to make up for a little bit of time. So we're going to have like 3.5 hours. And before we get into Control and Void Train, which again is the plan for today, I want to briefly mention the update. New Advancedly update that dropped today. So yeah, I've been on the grind, especially while I was working on the, and I still am working on the Advancedly release video. I'm just implementing more and more features because I constantly think of things that I want to improve, want to make better. This is awesome as a developer, but it's a nightmare when you're working on a video where you're like explaining every feature and then you add more and more features and it gets a bit messy. I mean, it is already messy because I literally halfway through had to update to Windows 11. Yeah, this is the second stream on Windows 11 now, so we'll see how that goes. But let's quickly check it out. We are already, I mean, I've even done 3 more commits after that. We're already on version 0.504. Which says a lot. Everyone says already 2 platinum is so hard, but I already got multiplayer trophies in a week. How hard can it be? Maybe those last 3 trophies are notoriously difficult. I don't know. But I hope you're doing great. So yeah, if you go to latest releases right there, the images have to load. I spent quite some time on getting this right here. Then we'll quickly show the features. I'm just gonna wait for the images to load. There we go. So, very interesting. I'm going to try and make this brief. You now have the option to configure the spacing between the items per section. So you can see, for example, the statistics section, I completely squished them together. The multi-stage goal stores are a little further away, and also the advancements here are more squished together again. This may cause text to overlap, but you can force it. You can also see here in the overlay, intentionally, there is text overlapping because I forced it to be thinner. And also, the first row, I guess, is touching here. The second row, it's very compact. You can make it very compact. Then I implemented a level of detail. I'm going to show this in a second with simplifying things. These are the new settings. I also made the section ordering a little more intuitive, that you can drop it in between, similar to how it is within the template editor. Then, full 1.12 template right here. We got that ready. Super nice. And I also improved the main Advancedly page. This looks a lot better now. Since I've been adding this, I left like this. We can see there's a lot of these sections that you can open up now. So it's easier to have an overview, right? So instead of showing you everything about the auto updating, you just click here and it will show everything here. Same for the tracker window. So we have these sections now that you can open up. This is something I recently figured out with HTML tags. And super nice, especially here, the entire settings window. This is always up to date. Have you watched The Boys? I personally don't watch much. So if you ask me if I've seen a certain movie or a certain series, the chance is pretty much 0 that I've seen it, because I basically just watch YouTube, and if I don't watch anything, then I'm working on my own content. So it's the only thing I'm watching right now is Game of Thrones. That is freaking awesome. I watch that every Wednesday with my friend group. So good. Darius is a little hard because I need to rank 50 in RDO, but the other 2 aren't even hard. I just need a bit of money. Yeah. Here you can see a full updated list of all the settings, including the LOD. Version support is updated with 1.12. Very important, because the tracker now officially supports 1.12. Because 1.12 is this weird hybrid version that has modern advancement but mid-era stats. It's so stupid. And if MT hadn't mentioned that he wanted a 1.12 template, I would have not figured this out. I would have claimed, yup, the tracker supports every version, because I thought advancements and stats both got the overhaul into the new format with 1.12. But no, 1.12 has the newer advancements, but the old mid-stat, like the old mid-era stats format, and the 1.13 versions upwards, they have the new stats as well. Then you have 1.17 plus, where the playtime is finally switched, and then you have Craftmine. So yeah, unfortunately, I've not seen the boys. But yeah, all of this is updated. Also, this is mentioned here now. Yeah, very, very awesome, and it's a little more organized. Right. Now, let's actually get to the code real quick. I'll show it within the environment here. There's quite a few things I want to show, and then we're already through here. So I've mentioned, oh yeah, we also have a 1.21.3 template as well. I've also updated, this is not part of the release, but I've also updated the textures for the fire charge. For the return to sender, it was actually using the old fireball texture, which seemed a bit out of place, but works. And then, let's quickly wait for this to open. Oh yeah, I made sure that the reference file folder now properly gets updated through automatic updates as well. And right here, you can immediately see the LODs. If I zoom out, first, the criteria text is going to display, or like going to be removed. Almost 50k, let's freaking go. So basically, if you enable this debug print setting, I left this in from like testing, so everyone can activate this. This is an ImGUI metrics debugger, and you can see at how many frames the tracker is currently running, like the tracker window itself. And vertices, indices, triangles, these are all indications of what needs to be rendered, what needs to be calculated. And obviously, the higher these numbers, the lower the performance will be. And so if I zoom out, you can see it's like 13k, 14k. And as soon as the text disappears, it jumps down back to 9k. So the text disappearing already makes such a performance difference, right? And if I zoom out further, then the text here is going to disappear, and we're already down to like 6k vertices, right? And if you had a massive template, this substantially improves performance. And if you go even further, then these icons are going to turn into the text color, right? This is the exact same as the text color. So if you go right here, tracker text color, and you make this like a purple, right? Everything changes. This is the text color with like 100 opacity, so a lower opacity. And this doesn't do too much for performance, but it's just to remove visual clutter. So yeah, and obviously you have these options. I'm quickly going to enable the overlay as well. Bang. With the debug, you also have the FPS and frame time there. We're going to remove that now. But you can see that we now have this level of detail. The bigger you make it, the further you have to zoom in for it to become visible, right? So this is the sub-item text. We have to zoom in quite far for it to appear. You can go all the way up to 10, which would be, let's just enter it, which would be the absolute maximum zoom. If you zoom in all the way, it's actually not there. If you go slightly below, then it's going to be there, right? But it's immediately gone. So you have full control over this. And obviously, if you make this all like really low, it will take forever until it disappears. See, it even goes purple and then it disappears. So yeah, higher values mean you have to zoom in further for it to become visible. And you have full control over the subtext, over the main text, and over when the icons simplify. Obviously, if I set this to like 5, that is going to simplify, and then all the way here, right? You can zoom in pretty far, but you have the full customization over that. Then let's just go for like the 1.21.11 template. Tracker just crashed. Okay, interesting. That may happen. I don't know why I just did that. Okay, that's interesting. Anyways, that's fine. We basically can adjust the spacing, for example, between the advancements. Obviously, making it 96 is exactly the width of these icons, or these background textures, no matter what background texture you use. And you can just shove it all together, or make it really wide for whatever reason if you want that. And if you uncheck, it will go back to dynamic, to like the width that it knows for sure will prevent any text from overlapping. Right? You can do this with the other goal types. You can also do this with the spacing on the overlay. Right? You enable it. This disables the dynamic spacing, and then you can adjust it. Right? We can make this really wide, or go down to 96, which would make it touch each other there. So yeah, you have this control now. You can also disable the overlay there again. And what else do I want to show? You have this, you have this. Yeah, the reordering, you now drag in between. This is much better than what it was previously. So we move the multi-stage up all the way. Then we have the multi-stages up here. That's better. There was also an issue with it not pre-filling the language file properly. So if you have German selected and you restart, it would initially not have German selected, but now it does. Oh, your car ran out of gas? Oh no. Thank you for the good luck. Thank you. But unfortunately, this fix is actually... No, this fix is part of the latest release. Yeah, it is. It is actually the reason why the latest release is version 501 instead of 500, I believe. But that's very good. So you have the level of detail stuff. Culling is obviously applied, so anything that is outside of the tracker won't be rendered, which is why when you zoom in, performance will get better. Very nice. Yeah, we have the 1.21.3 template. That one is in place. Also has all the translations. It basically doesn't have the creaking, nor... now I have to zoom in really far. Make this like 0.25. That's like default. It also tells you what default is, yeah. There you go. And yeah, there's no creaking. It is 1.21.3, so it's 122 advancements and 186 criteria. Absolutely goated. Oh, 187, I think. One biome is done. Yup. Very, very nice. I think that covers everything. One small change, I guess, if you create a template, it says create template here instead of create files. It's something that it's just for consistency. I think I touched everything. Very brief, very short. Great release. We're going up like freaking 45 versions. This is huge. So yeah, go check it out. I hope you guys will enjoy the latest release. We are gonna hop into Control now. First stream on Control with Windows 11. See if this also works. Well, I assume so. Dogmaster, are you already driving yourself? Are you already doing the license? Let's go. Obviously, I'll be eating already. Red Dead Redemption is coming to mobile? Well, that's where all their freaking resources are put into. That's crazy. Even though I'd assume it's not even Rockstar behind the phone release, is it?